Hey everyone, I hope you're well. Today we are finally doing the Season 4 tier list. The ranked split is just around the corner, next week in fact, so it's a perfect time to do it. But first, I have a very important message. Hello, gamers. I need to talk to you about something very, very important. There's a pandemic. It's forcing us to stay at home. I know what you're thinking. This is a free pass to just play any game you want for as long as you want. And you know what? I'm all for it. But don't you forget, make sure you take good care of yourself. Manscape wanted me to showcase the best thing for preventing those sweaty gaming sessions from getting a bit too sweaty. They have this brand new Lawnmower 3.0, and I mean, this thing really does mow lawns. No, I'm not talking about the kind of lawn you find in your back garden. Come on, we know you're not going outside the next few weeks, so I'm talking about the lawns on your body. This thing has a 7,000 RPM motor. That goes faster than Octane's legs. This thing is beautiful. It's waterproof and you can use it anywhere you want. If you really want to step it up, this is the ultimate anti-sweaty gamer concoction here. It's the perfect package 3.0. You get this bad boy, your good old ball deodorant. Stay prepared, take care of yourself. This one, ball toner, and you get this beautiful little bag. Now that is going to store a lot of goodies. Keep it nice and safe, alright? Take care of yourself, gamers. Use my code TGM20 at manscape.com. You'll get 20% off, 2 free gifts, and free shipping. Alright friends, now that you have made sure you're keeping safe and clean at home during this crazy time, let's get into this tier list. It's going to be a little bit different this time. It's going to be a bit more conversational because I hope to open up some debate. This isn't a definitive list, but it's a good place for conversation, and I'm going to bring a lot of facts to the table for abilities, animations, hitboxes. These are the main 3 things in my opinion that are very, very important. So we'll start from the bottom. Mirage is in D tier. Mirage is a pretty poor legend just because the passive and ultimate does very little for the team. The tactical I actually really like, and there's a lot of potential there, but I hope that it could be improved a little bit. Mirage's hitbox is one of the worst. In fact, it's the biggest legend that doesn't have a perk. Revenant aside, we'll talk more about Revenant in a second, but Mirage has the biggest hitbox for any legend that doesn't have fortified, so that's pretty crazy. There are some more hitbox issues we'll go in later, but yeah, I don't like Mirage's abilities too much. I really like the tactical, but everything else needs to be pushed up a bit to provide any use, and you really need some kind of team play ability. I heard somebody suggest an idea where Mirage can turn other people invisible. That could be something. I don't know, there's a lot of room for tweaking that needs to happen to make Mirage any good. Next we have Revenant in D tier. Revenant's in D tier, and it's a shame because I really like Revenant's concept. I really like Revenant's passive. The ability to walk around faster is really great, but I feel like it needs to be tweaked. The values need to be a little faster to, make it worthwhile. I feel like crouching around becomes tiresome a little bit, and because of that, it's rare that you can really put it to good value unless you're really dedicated to crouching around like pretty much all the time. It's good, but I hope it could be improved. The tactical I really like actually, and there's some real value there, but I feel like the values need to be improved a little bit. I think that Revenant's tactical should be able to catch enemies by surprise more. So that stuff that appears on your screen, make it even more like, turn it into sort of like a mini flashbang, make it really difficult to use. Silence enemy pings as well. That would be really useful so enemies can't ping that they're being attacked. Maybe make the silence a little longer. I'm not sure. Yeah, there's some improvements there. The main issue though with Revenant is his ultimate. Well, we'll talk about the hitbox in a second, but Revenant's ultimate provides very little value. It's a great idea, but I feel like it's been nerfed to make sure it's not too powerful, and that's a problem because now Revenant has one of the most underpowered and useless ultimates in the game. Many people put down the ultimate, you go into the shadow form, you get killed as a shadow, and then they just camp your death totem and you're instantly dead because you come back with 10 HP. I think a very easy solution to this would just be simply, yeah, you go into the totem, you only have limited 100 HP, but when you leave and go back to your totem, you have your full health. You have whatever health and shields you had before that. Maybe that would be a bit too strong, but we need more than just 10 HP. That would be a very, very simple change, and it would definitely make a difference. Now, Revenant's hitbox, I've talked about this in 2 videos already. It's very, very broken. And he's low profile. What is happening there? That is ridiculous. Revenant has the biggest chest area in the game. Revenant has the 3rd biggest hitbox in the game, just below Caustic. Revenant should have fortified. It's so bad. So it needs to be fixed. Revenant's low profile needs to go. Right. Now we're moving into C tier. We have Octane, and I love Octane so much. I play Octane, I do well with him, but he has some glaring issues. His jump pad lacks viability in comparison to other movement-based abilities, grapple and zipline, and that's a problem. Octane being stuck in the air and just being an easy target is an issue. I hope that they can find some kind of fix for that in the future. Octane's stim is cool, but the fact you have to sacrifice your health a little bit kind of sucks. Can we adjust that maybe? Octane's passive is kind of needed. I mean, it's just like part of the tactical in a way. Maybe he could get a new passive. I don't know. Besides that, though, Octane has a very, very broken hitbox, and that's why I've brought Octane down from B tier to C tier. I didn't realize this in Season 3. Octane has a huge hitbox problem. You can shoot way above Octane's head. I'd say imagine 50% of Octane's head above his head. That's what you can shoot and get headshots on. Octane also has a big hitbox problem near his chest where you can shoot around. It's probably the worst hitbox after Revenant, of course, so that's a really, really big problem, and it does mean that he's an issue to play, and it's why Pathfinder was so bad at the very beginning of the game. If you try and tell me that hitboxes don't matter, then remember when Pathfinder first came out, nobody played him because he was just like a giant block that you could shoot, and that is a big problem. Hitboxes matter in this game. Next, we have Caustic, who is in B tier. Caustic is a really, really great legend now. The fortified perk means he can move faster, he doesn't get slowed by bullets. The gas works really well to deny players movement. It's such a great zoning tool, and it's great to force like solo fights or 1v1s really well. Very few other legends have that. You can limit visibility, and the gas actually does quite a lot of damage now. He's in a really, really good place. He's not amazing, but I think he's a well-balanced legend. Yes, he's quite big, but he's not actually that big. I mean, you can see the actual area of being able to shoot. Caustic is quite similar to Mirage, and you can learn more about that in my hitbox video, but yeah, Caustic's hitbox isn't that bad. People are kind of overestimating it, really. His animations kind of suck though, so he is a bit easier to hit than many other legends. It is a problem, but I think you can play Caustic well with his gas traps. You can use them as cover. He just has so much potential. If you play Caustic well, you can do really great. Unfortunately, he lacks any real mobility or like get out of jail free cards like other legends, so that's why he's lower tier. Next, we have Bloodhound, who is B tier. Bloodhound has had a lot of buffs, and they are finally getting to a point where I can happily say I recommend playing Bloodhound if you like Bloodhound and you like their abilities. The tactical improvement was huge. Now that you can see such a large distance, it makes such a difference. I see some people arguing, saying, well, if you scan someone at that distance, you're not going to be able to get to them close enough anyway, but that's not the point. It's not about having a 3,000 unit scan distance and being able to actually get to that player 3,000 units away. What about 1,100 units, 1,300, 1,400? That takes a very short time to get there. That radius around you is expanded so much, and it allows you to really understand the situation of a fight before you enter it. It's just really good. The ultimate's in a pretty good state too. I understand that they can't really make legends faster, because if they go too fast, it glitches out a little bit. I don't think Bloodhound is going to be top tier, but I do think they are in a balanced state now, and I don't think there's much more you can do to Bloodhound to make them any better. They're in a good state. One issue, Bloodhound has a pretty big head hitbox, which is a bit of an issue. That's why Bloodhound is B tier and not A tier. I actually do like Bloodhound's kit. Now, Crypto is next in B tier. Crypto has a lot of recon value, and I think he's almost getting to the point where he's really decent. His EMP ultimate is so strong now. It's his real redeeming piece of kit, and a good Crypto player can dominate squads. It's going to become a very powerful tool in the future if crypto starts to get more buffs, and I really think crypto has the potential to be a top tier, A tier legend if this is improved. But for the casual player, crypto is clumsy, he is inconvenient for the team. Not many people are good at using crypto's recon, but he has so much potential, and I really hope he gets some buffs because I'm very tempted to put crypto in A tier, but we'll see. He's not quite there. He lacks mobility. Next, we're moving on to A tier, and we have Lifeline. She's kind of clinging on a little bit. There have been a lot of meta changes around the items and loot in the game, and Gibraltar coming into play and kind of like eating up some of Lifeline's passives, but she does still have value. Firstly, her ultimate loot pool needs an upgrade. That would make her so much better. But besides that, I like Lifeline's passive where she can heal people faster and has a shield around it. That saves a lot of people in fights. She's still good, I do agree, but she isn't what she used to be. And one of the reasons for that is sort of the way loot has gone now. It's much easier to get gold tier armor, which means her faster shield usage and med usage on herself isn't as valuable. Sort of like a counter to that, we now have the golden backpack, which allows you to heal players with more health. So that kind of goes in Lifeline's way a little bit. Being able to get somebody up after the shield is protecting them and they have some health really does have some value. So yeah, Lifeline's weird. She's kind of getting affected by other changes in the meta. She is in a good space. She also has a very good hitbox. Not the best, but definitely amongst the top 5 hitboxes in the game. Her animations are pretty janky, so that's always fun. Yeah, she's good. She is good. She can be a formidable choice on any competitive team, but I just hope she gets her ultimate upgraded a little bit. All she needs is that loot pool increased and she'll be a really good legend again. Next, we have Watson, who's also in A tier. Now, Watson's kit as a casual player perspective isn't so great. She's kind of geared around camping and positioning, but in high competitive play, she is so valuable, she is so useful, she is on most teams because she is that important. So I have to keep her in A tier primarily for that. Now, if you're a solo player or a more casual player, you can still get benefit out of Watson. She doesn't have the same zoning potential as Caustic. Caustic's gas traps are better at that, but she can do it a little bit with some good fence placements and quick reaction with placing fences. But what I like about Watson is her hitbox, whilst not perfect, it could do with a bit of improvement. I mean, you can literally shoot between her legs, but it's still very small, and she has some really good animations that you can abuse like crazy. I've made a few videos about this. You can type Watson cut strafing into YouTube if you want to learn more, but you can get really good at just spamming out crazy animations, and it makes it really hard for you to take damage. Next, we have Bangalore, who is A tier as well, and I'd rank Bangalore higher than Watson. The reason for this is I think people underestimate her ultimate. People keep comparing it to Gibraltar's, but it does a different thing. Gibraltar is about getting damage and securing kills, being a great third-party tool. Bangalore's is more about positioning, and you can do some great positioning things with her ult to get out of dangerous situations, not just for yourself, but your whole team. It's such a powerful positioning tool for your whole team that has a lot more versatility than just placing a zip line somewhere. I really like it. I think that it provides more distancing and control than even the portal in many cases, but I do think the portal is very strong too. So yeah, that's really good. Bangalore also has the best hitbox out of any legend that isn't low profile, so that's huge. I would say that her hitbox is a lot better than people think. You can't shoot where her skirt is. Just take a look at the recent system override event to actually see what her hitbox looks like, and you'll see why it's pretty decent. Bangalore's smokes are pretty good. Bangalore's passive is really good. She's an all-round great legend, and I don't know why people kind of look down on her a little bit. It's a bit strange. Next, we have Gibraltar in A tier. Now, it's no surprise Gibraltar's here. Yes, he has a giant hitbox, but it doesn't matter. His gun shield is a great solution to that, and it works really well. So we cannot talk about the hitbox anymore. It really does not matter. Gibraltar's dome shield is really great now that you can throw it further. You can heal players inside it faster. You can heal your own meds and your own healing faster, which kind of takes from Lifeline. That's really cool. Gibraltar's such a good legend for dueling and extending fights. He's really good. The ultimate's really good as well. That does a lot of damage and it can cause a lot of chaos. You can get a lot of kills with that now. Gibraltar is a really good pick, both for casual players and high level players. Now, because he is a big boy, he has less potential for like super high level movement play. I mean, you can't really abuse his animations much, but he does have some good strafing animations, sort of. They just, you know, they don't live up to anything like Wraiths or Watson, so yeah, he's okay in terms of that, but really his value comes in his extended kit, which has just become so strong in recent updates. Pathfinder is A tier. Pathfinder has a really great hitbox. If you crouch spam with Pathfinder, you're going to be absolutely incredibly difficult to hit. Pathfinder's zipline is a great repositioning tool. It's a really powerful item. It's not as great as Wraith's Portal, nowhere near, but it does have some value. But most importantly, Pathfinder's grapple is the absolute best thing for repositioning, getting out of dangerous situations, or just absolutely pushing a player and ensuring they don't get away. I've had a situation where I've literally chased a Pathfinder down for about 5 minutes in a game, and he just kept grappling away. I was playing Octane, and obviously Octane can't keep up with Pathfinder. And yeah, I mean, unless you're super determined, you're never going to catch a Pathfinder. So he's really, really strong. The recon passive is really cool as well, but more important in high-level ranked games and competitive. Finally, we have Wraith, the only S-tier legend. Wraith's tactical is really, really strong. Being able to have a few seconds of invincibility is just mind-blowing, and it really allows you to have some freedom, get out of a situation, let your team come in, or let third parties deal with it. You can escape very well. Wraith's ultimate is a really great positioning tool. Now that it's been nerfed and you can't increase your speed much whilst using the ultimate and the tactical together, it's not as great as escaping situations, and that's why I highly recommend you to consider using Bangalore in the same purpose. If you're that Wraith player that always gets your team out of situations, try and consider using Bangalore's ultimate in that way. You may have some good results, but either way, it's still very strong. Wraith's passive is also pretty cool, you cannot deny, and Wraith's hitbox is the smallest, not just by a little bit, but by a massive amount. And another important thing to realize is because Wraith is very short, when she strafes from side to side, she has to move the same distance as other legends, right? But because her body is smaller, the amount of difference in her body position during each frame of the animation is so much bigger that it becomes very difficult to hit a strafing Wraith, a wraithing strafe, or whatever. So that's it. We have our list, and this is a tier list and also sort of a ranking system, because Mirage is the worst, Revenant second worst, Octane, then Caustic, then Bloodhound, Crypto, Lifeline, Watson, Bangalore, Gibraltar, Pathfinder, and Wraith. I will say that this season is one of the best in terms of balancing. A lot of the legends in the middle areas are really great now. I really like Bloodhound, I really like Watson, I like Bangalore, I like Gibraltar, I like Caustic. That's really, really good. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the comments. Cheerio!